But now it's time for me to talk about what I need to talk about today, man. And my thing is the Lions and Vikings are closer than their records indicate. The Lions actually are 1-point favorites going into this game. Say what? Oh no, man. Okay. Here's a couple things that are something that's similar to with the Detroit Lions and the Minnesota Vikings, right? If you look at, and we usually go through this, and I'll go through this a little bit, right? Total yards per game. For the Lions, we put up 379, they put up 354. On the defensive side of the ball is where it's really close. We allow 414.2 yards. They allow 414.7. They give up more passing yards than we do. We give up 264. That changed over since the thing with Aubrey Pleasant. He left the building. Hate to say it, the big homie, because that's my dude, but we give up 264. They give up 299. Wow. Who thought that would happen? Points per game. They allow 23. We allow 27, but a lot of that 27 has to do with what happened at the beginning of the season, right? They've won 4 out of the last 5 games. Guess how many Lions have won? 4 out of the last 5 games. If you look at this thing, it's closer. It is closer to what we think. The Lions have lost 4 games by 1 score. Here's the difference between our records, because they're 10-2, we're 5-7. They've won 5 games by 1 score. That's within 7 points, right? The Lions have lost 4 games within 1 score. That's kind of the difference in our records right now. Okay, you get even more. You need some more. You need some more. You need some more. I'll give you some more. I'll give you some more. Total yards per game allowed, right? The Lions ranked 32nd. Of course, we know about the beginning of the season at 402. Guess who's 31? The Minnesota Vikings at 398 per game. Passing yards per game. The Lions are in the, 27th in the league, and passing yards given up per game at 252. Guess who's dead last in the league? Minnesota at 283. I'm just saying. Okay. I'm just saying. Let's look at the offensive side of the ball. Detroit look at total yards per game. We're like top 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're the 7th ranked team in yards per game. Minnesota, middle of the pack. They're right around 16, 17. And you look at passing yards per game. Of course, the Lions are in the top of the league. They're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And 11 is the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, you look at these teams, right? Points per game. Lions are in the top 10. Minnesota is not. They're around 14, something like that. 12, 14. So I'm just saying, this matchup on Sunday, buckle up, Buttercup, and watch your kneecaps, because it's going to be on. And we always play Minnesota tough in Detroit when they come to the Ford Field. So that was our first win of the year last year, and I think it's going to be the next win for the Lions this year. It's going to be 6-7, because they're going to come in here, run into a buzzsaw that is the Detroit Lions offense, man. This is a closer matchup than what people think it is. What do you guys think about how the Lions compare to the Vikings right now?
Man, I think, like you said, it's real close. When you get down to it, especially on offense, it's real close. It's scary close, actually. It's scary close that we're that close to a 10-2 team. Man, that just lets you know how many games we let slide, man, at the beginning of the season. Oh, that made me sick. But you know what, man? The Vikings don't get punched in the mouth. That's all I'm gonna tell you right now. Them boys finna get punched in their teeth, because Detroit ready. I think we ready. I think because we got them young guys, we ready, man. The defense, I think, it'll be a battle of who want to give who the most yards. that's what it's gonna be about. So, Ben Johnson, it's on you, man.
Yeah, I mean, you look at this game, they got a lot of people that's kind of trying to come back from injury right now, because they've been hurting. Like their offensive line is injured. and they're giving up some sacks. And they just, it's tough sledding for them guys right now. What you got, LL?
Number one, I hate Minnesota for this reason. Because I hate the Cowboys also. And before they played the Cowboys, everybody questioned Minnesota. They ain't played nobody. What are they going to look like when they play an actual good team? We've seen them play the Philly, and we've seen what happened, XYZ. They play the Cowboys, get stomped on, and then all of a sudden the Cowboys just great. They beat teams like Minnesota, but last week, 3 days ago, y'all was just asking, was this team any good? But that's besides the point. Fuck Minnesota. I'm shocked. I didn't look at it like that. But that's dope that we are as close to a 10-2 team. It kind of shows what we could have been, I guess, if you want to look at it from that aspect. And don't forget, we had like the sixth easiest schedule or something like that, and all of our division was like right within, was right around us, fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh or whatever it was. So they got an easy schedule too. I don't know what that schedule turns into now that we actually in the season. It might have flipped around a little bit, but some of those teams, they just been, beating the teams that they should beat and stuff like that, but they getting stepped on by the better teams in the league. And yeah, like Coach Mike said, I expect us to go out there and be punching guys in the face this week. This should be a hard-fought game that we can win.
Yeah, you look at this, they're kind of like the opposite of us. They're putting people on IR and we're taking people off. They have a lot of injuries in their secondary. So you look at, the guys that they have back there, you have one or two. You got a aging Patrick Peterson now. You can't take that guy for light, but you got Harrison Smith. The rest of those guys are young players. Like the young player Lewis Seen, he's out. He's on IR, and Dantzler, and they have a bunch of guys on their secondary. That's why they're giving up so many passing yards. And Ben Johnson, man, do what you do. Call the game that you called on Sunday, and we should light they ass up. The scoreboard should be on fire.
Defense got to come too.
Defense got to come.
Y'all boy over there.
Oh, Justin Jefferson. Oh, are you talking about CJ Hawkins?
Justin Jefferson.
Oh, Justin Jefferson, yeah. We got to play Justin Jefferson like we played him in the first game. Just got to play him. And here's my deal: when the guy that replaced Tracy Walker in that game is no longer even on the team, Juju Hughes, he got released. But you got the young fella Kirby Joseph playing, playing great, and you got Deshaun Elliott playing pretty good right now. Giving that safety help over the top, you're going to force the other guys to beat you underneath. And with Jerry Jacobs, you got a lot of guys that we didn't have in that first game versus the Minnesota Vikings that's playing in the secondary right now. A lot of those guys weren't even on the field yet. So,
right.
Yeah. And we know you can get pressure on what's the quarterback? Kirk Cousins. You can get pressure on him. You can get pressure on him because he's not like he ain't been sacked, because he's been sacked plenty this year. He has been sacked plenty this year. Let's look at this.
Off that boy.
Yeah, I mean, because you look at what the Jets did to him. The Jets was putting him on his back. You know what I'm saying? They got to a good lead, but it was one of those things where they had to kind of hold the water because they wasn't scoring in the second half. They got a couple sacks on him for 14 yards, man. You can get to – he only had a passer rating of 82.2 in the game on Sunday. He had 173 passing yards. The Lions can hold him in that. We can hold him in that. So, hey, that's what it is, man. Hey, to see the rest of this conversation, man, tune over to the full version of today's Lunchtime Detroit Lions Talk, brought to you by Detroit Lions on the Prowl, your home for Detroit Lions news and rumors, man. You can check out the full conversations, hear what LL and Coach Mike had to say about this topic.